This goes out to every last single one that may have watched my videos or are watching them right now. I don't know if you know this, but there's another Cat 5, probably strengthened down to probably Cat 3 when it hits landfall. You've seen what it did to my state and to the rest of the Bible Belt. They are going to use this hurricane to destroy us because they hate us. They hate, not so much as this country, but they hate Donald Trump. They hate 1/2 of the population of this country and would rather see us dead because all that they care about is the vote. They would rather have their democracy and try to remove the other population from that particular part of the hour because half of this country and half of the conservative base, well, I should say the new liberal base, is so Trump deranged that they would rather see 1/2 of the country dead. America, for the most part, has become so war hungry, so vicious, so evil right now that they would rather see us, its own people, die. I have seen the very worst of humanity in the last 8 years, if not the last 7. And if I had my way, I would be out of this shithole as far as I could possibly can. Because, let's face it, they would rather take their hate for one man or one set of people and try to destroy them and try to replace them rather than actually try to simply say fine and raise their hands and say fine, I'll step away. No, they would rather take their toxicity towards people towards the other end of the level and say, no, I will not allow Trump in because of January 6th. I'm fucking sick and tired of hearing about January 6th as I am 9/11. And this is coming from a former Bush supporter. I'm tired of all that shit. I'm tired of being treated like garbage. Of being labeled not worthy of some of the higher upper echelons. We supported Bush in 2004. We supported him in 2000 after Clinton's reign. And they have the unmitigated gall to call us a bunch of rubes and dumbasses, as well as many other things. They hate us as a culture. They hate us and will continue to go on hating us. I just don't know what to say anymore about this country. Too many people would rather be positive that things would not change. But I'm always thinking in the negative. I want to have hope. I want to continue to go on forward. But I don't see it anymore. Too many people would rather be focused on hate. This boiling over of hate. And say that I, Daniel Marsigli, or I, Joe Schmo, or I, whoever, is part of the problem. We are run by a bunch of psychopaths, and we allow never-Trumpers who have bitter, angry feelings towards Donald Trump, or if not Donald Trump, then his supporters, because they trolled them on social media. Honestly, I believe that the entire social media space has become so toxic with never-Trumpism that they could not just simply take the healthy route and just simply step away. I just want to walk away from this country and walk away from this our democracy. Walk away from the collective group and just be all on my own. But sadly, I do not have the intelligence or wherewithal to maintain that sort of campaign, so I am generally stuck here. So many people would rather just hate me for my vote. That's all that we've boiled ourselves down to as a culture. Just boiling down to who votes for who. This is why I want to strike Russia and Ukraine with a 500 megaton nuclear device. Why I want there to be a great moment of enlightenment between both parties, and perhaps, just perhaps, maybe, that the never-Trumpers can simply say, fine, I'll step away. I'll step away from the political order of things. But they can't. They can't because their ego won't allow them to do so. I have seen the very worst, if not the worst, of humanity today. All because of a simple red "Make America Great Again" hat. And they would rather leave us for dead. They would rather leave us for dead for a simple red hat. This is the course that this country has taken. Just hating on each other for a simple hat. And that's why I don't want to be a part of it anymore. I loathe this world. Absolutely loathe it. Because all that they have done is built up this giant bubble. And it needs to burst sometime. But I don't see it bursting. I just see it growing more and more darker and evil. That's why I don't want to be a part of it anymore. I don't want to be a part of a uniparty nation. I don't want to be a part of a nation that would rather leave me for dead for voting practices. I hope that this video reaches out to whomever it may watch. This may go into "I want peace." Who knows? Perhaps I'm trying to make it more 10-minute than however I wished it to be. I just feel so low and broken as a person who's watched the entire progression of this country for the last 23 years and see humanity's own heart become bitter and cold and vicious. And I'm starting to wonder, is being part of a collective, worth it? When all that humanity has done is just breathe this giant ball of hate upon each other. I guess all it takes right now is the power of permission and the power of democracy. I guess democracy in and of itself has truly failed. I just have no faith in this country anymore. I have seen so much that it has changed over in the last couple of years. And all that society would rather do is accelerate and hate. And just continue to hate. I just don't know what to say anymore. The poor response over in the western half of North Carolina, and probably even more so the poor response of what's going to be happening in Florida. They would rather leave the Bible Belt for dead. All because they would rather replace us with more and more migrants from the third world. If not from the second world. They don't give a shit. They never did. The Democrats from the 2000s on up pretended like they gave a shit, but they don't. They never will. It's all a charade. It's all a stage play. And all I can say is, I'm shaking my head. I tried for 15 years to make things work. But so many people have different ideologies of how democracy and how conservatism is supposed to work. And in some instances, they would rather leave us all for dead. All because we want peace and a better economy.